Howdy folks, and welcome to the ArcheRAGE New Player's Guide. I want to start this off this time with a little reminder that this video guide starting out is intended for new players to ArcheRAGE, and people who might not be overly familiar with MMOs in general. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because I received a very nasty comment recently that I went ahead and decided to delete. I'm not one to normally delete comments, but this one was very. He insulted me several times and called my content trash, basically, is the short version. On top of having horrible sentence structure and punctuation. I mean, it was just all kinds of. It was a mess. Um, but anyway, we're going to move past that, and I want to continue on the way I have been, because, like I said, this guide is not intended for advanced players, people who are veteran MMO players or anything like that. This is intended for people who are still somewhat new to the MMO scene, because most of the players on this game are not young kids. It is a rated M game, but the majority of the players are 30 plus. So uh, I know for myself, I didn't start getting into gaming until what, 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. Uh, Prior to that, I did anything but. So uh, I understand what it's like to be coming into a community as a new player, unfamiliar with how things are done, and I'm trying to look at it from that perspective. We do have a lot of people playing this particular game who are disabled. It's they're sitting at home, they can't do anything else, so they're looking for something, and the major appeal of this game is housing, land ownership, properties. Now, that's the focus of today's episode is properties. Here, you can see these two houses right here in front of me. Both of these are mine. Now, this one I haven't done anything with yet because it's incomplete, and I'll explain that in a minute. We're going to look at the basics first. Let me open up my inventory and see what I have on me. Yes, I do have this. We're going to pull this down here. We're going to pull this guy down here. And we're going to pull this guy down here. Now, these three are farms. I also have a house, a thatched, and a full kit demo thatched. Now, there's going to be differences here that I'll explain to you very shortly. So, the first property that you're going to get while doing the Blue Salt quest line is going to be getting an 8x8 scarecrow garden, which an 8x8, the one I'm going to show you is not the one you're going to get, but it's the same size. What I'm showing you is this thing right here and this one right here. The one you get is more this color. And you can only get one of each of these. But like these guys right here, you get from the cash shop, and I can show you several different places where you can get that. Under the recommended tab, these are the 16 by 16 farms. Click. Here's the third 16 by 16 farm. You can only have one of each of them. And then here are the three 8x8 farms, or gardens rather, and you can only have three of those. That's the fastest way to find them, though, is going to main and recommended. I believe they are also in housing. Are they over here in building? Yeah. Okay, so there's a birch tree house design. Here's the three 16 by 16s, and here's the three gardens. Okay, real easy to find. So to place one of these are full kit, which means whenever you go to place it, you find a spot where it'll fit and you can just place it. Now you see how the one I have is red. That means I can't place it anywhere around here. And if you look closely, I don't know how well you can see it on YouTube, but you can see these gray stones on the ground. These indicate property borders for existing properties. Now, right here, you see it's red and then it turned gray. That means I could place it here if I wanted to. I don't particularly want to. I've got enough properties up that it would be insanely expensive for me to place this. But you saw I just found one 8x8 there. And if I come back this way, I believe yep, there's one, there's a couple right here. You can fit along here. You can fit two of them in this area. Let's see here. That's, like I said, it's just wandering around. You can find all kinds of stuff. Um, let's come over this way. Oh, look, here's another spot for an 8x8 right here. And then right here, there's room for, it looks like 3 of them. Yeah, you can fit 3 8x8s right in there. And then over here, no. Over here, you can fit a few. And then up along here, in between these properties, you can fit one. This is what the one you get from the blue salt looks like. This guy right here. But you can fit one right here in between these guys. Now you see the stones aren't showing. The way you can fix that is just right click your garden away and then right click it again, and there's the stones. You can see them again. But there's a spot, there's a spot. There are places all over the map. Now, hold on. You see how it's red? But without moving it, I get closer and it turns gray. Because you have to be within a certain distance in order to place a property. So that is also an issue. Okay? But all you do to place it, once you find where you want it, is you left click the first time, and then you can scroll around to reposition it however you want. And then you left click again, and you make sure that you have the taxes. If you don't have the taxes, you can't place it. And then you click build, and it places it. Like I said, I'm not going to click build because that's going to cost me a lot, and I don't have a lot. Very expensive for me. I have these 2 huge properties right here. This one is the 16 by 16, and you can see that it just doesn't fit here. It's close, but it just doesn't. So, Now, I did see an area over here. It looked like it might be big enough, but it's not. See, this is another one. It's close, but not quite. And then over here, it goes outside of the housing district. You see these wooden posts here? That's the border of the housing district. If your property is touching those wooden posts, you cannot place it there. Like right here, it's outside of the housing district. So that's a no-go. Alright? But this is what the 16, this is the upgraded 8x8, which I'll show you how to upgrade that. It's this one right here. This scarecrow right here is the upgrade of this. So you lose this to get this. Alright. And the way that's done, let's see here. I believe it's under properties, farms, and gardens. Yes. Okay, so you've got the scarecrow garden design. That's the 8x8. And you can improve it to the farm with 2 wooden beam bundles, 2 construction tool bundles, a finishing touches bundle, and a construction brick bundle. Okay, Then you can further upgrade it to a gazebo. So I think that's right. Yeah. You use the 16 by 16. You need 6 building management titles, 4 of the wooden beam bundles, 4 of the construction tool bundles, 3 finishing touches, and 3 construction brick bundles. Okay, now the gazebo, there's actually one over here, so I can show you what that looks like. But it is a 24 by 24, whereas these scarecrows are all 16 by 16. These are 16 by 16s. Let me get over here a little quicker. This guy right here is the gazebo, and it is a 24 by 24. And if I just pull out my farm, you can actually see that on the ground, those gray dots outlining it. It is a rather large area. Now you see how the dots don't line up, but if I come over here, they're a little bit closer. Here, they're a little bit further away. What I mean by that is the red dots versus the gray dots. You see they're kind of far away on that property, but they're pretty close together there, and they're pretty close together there. That's because while the gazebo is a 24 by 24, it is slightly smaller than a regular 24 by 24, which is the thatched. And we'll go ahead and pull the thatched out to show you that. I'll just click that so it doesn't move. But you see, this is bigger all the way around than the gazebo. Okay? It is just barely bigger. Alright? But if you have this farm, this is the one that you get from the cash shop. You can also upgrade it to a 24 by 24. It's called a pavilion. And that is the same size as the gazebo, because you can see the red dots and the gray dots are perfectly lined up all the way around. Alright, now the advantage of the pavilion over the gazebo is, one, it looks nicer, but the pavilion is off to the side, and you can spin that around, put it anywhere around the property you want, except in the middle. The gazebo, it's only in the middle. You cannot get it off to the side in any way. Alright, that's the farms. Alright, now the thatched, which I can show you a thatched right here. This is a regular thatched. It is a basic house as far as 24 by 24s go. Has a fireplace, has a fair amount of space inside of it. You can place chests in here, you can place a bed in here, any other decorations that you want. Right out front, it has a water barrel. Now, that is a huge advantage, because now you don't have to go to a well to get water buckets. And once you've gotten into farming and raising animals, you'll find that you need water buckets a lot. The other thing about a thatched, let me pull this out again real quick. As you can see, it does have a little bit of land all the way around the actual house that you can plant on or place animals on. Okay? Now, one trick with a thatched is to not just a thatched, with any property, is to not place it straight. This is placed in straight. It's at a 90-degree angle. What you want to do is put it at a 45-degree angle like this one. Now you have a large corner here where you can put something a little bit bigger. You also have a larger corner over here, back here, and over on this side, where you can place larger objects. Okay, so always turn your property at a 45-degree angle, like this one as well. Say you got this corner right here that you can plant in. Whereas on a regular 16, I think there's one over here that is not turned. Oh yeah, there's a couple of them. You see there's not a whole lot of space around the building. You can single plant stuff here. You might be able to put down some ducks. I don't think so, though. But there's really not much space around the house. But if you turn it at a 45-degree angle, you'll be able to plant a lot more. Now, a thatched, this one is at a 90-degree angle, and it's raised. So it has even more space around it than a regular thatched. But if he had turned it to a 45-degree angle, he'd be able to get these larger corners in here to plant stuff in. So keep that in mind. Now, you do not have to turn the house while you're placing it, which I'm going to show you right now. See, this house right here is at a 90-degree angle, and he's got some ducks right there, but he doesn't have much room for anything else. If he were to turn the house at a 45-degree angle, he'd have room in 3 of the 4 corners that he could, or maybe, I don't know, the fireplace might be in the way. At least 2 of the corners where he could place duck cages instead of single planted ducks. Now, this is also one of my houses. Now, I'm going to show you real quick. You see this one's at a 45-degree angle. It's already turned, but I've got it facing the wrong way because I was in a hurry, and I placed it before we could turn them. So what you do is you come up here to the door, and I want to show you an example of how it doesn't work. So if you hit F, or if you click on the properties nameplate, which I showed you last time, you'll see down here you've got 4 icons, okay? This icon is to demolish the property. That's just to tear it down. It's gone. You no longer have that land. This is a full kit demolition. In order to do that, you're going to need a certain amount of building management titles. Now, what that does is it tears down the building, but you don't have to build it again. Because whenever you place a house, specifically a house, you have to go and make the packs to build the house up, and this one is raised. So it costs a significant amount of materials to improve it, to make it a better house. And to avoid that cost again, you would do a full kit demo to tear it down so that you can just replace it real quick and be done with it, okay? There's the sale option, which also requires building management titles. For this, you can actually put the building up for sale. You can sell it to anybody, or you can sell it to a specific person and put their name in here. Set whatever amount you're selling it at, okay? That's how you sell the property. To rotate it is this grayed out button right here. Now, there's a reason that this is grayed out. The reason it's grayed out is because I left this right here. If you have anything on your property at all, you cannot rotate the building. Period. There's no 2 ways about it. Let me make sure there's nothing inside too. Oh, there is. Oh, no, don't lay down. Pick it up. Alright. So, sorry about that. I had a little cough. Now, I do believe that I've picked up everything. There shouldn't be anything left on the building. So now when I hit F, the rotate button is no longer grayed out. So I can click on that, and you see it turned red and everything. It's showing me how I'm going to rotate it. So I want to step back here so that I can see it. Red is no change. Green is it is different, and you can do that. Now, if you've got it turned away from how it originally is and it's red, that means that there is some reason, maybe the terrain is messed up, I don't know, that you cannot place it that way. You'd have to look at it. Maybe the terrain is too steep. I got lucky over here. Everything's nice and flat. I don't have to worry about that. Now, I want to make sure that it is nice and straight, so I'm looking at how it's lined up with the old one, and that's pretty perfect. I just needed to turn it a little bit. Because the way it is, you see, I've got this wall right here and my stairs right here, but then my house is right here. So it's kind of backwards. So I want to go ahead and place it, and it's going to cost me 10 tax certificates. And now I have a clear shot over to this house right here so I can get to these muddy fields. Now, muddy fields are great because you can plant 50 seeds at a time. Uh, and that's another time. I mean, you can figure that out yourself. That's pretty easy stuff. But yeah, I was planning on rotating that anyway, so that's perfect that we were doing this episode. So, yay, now I have this turned the way I want it. It looks good. I like it. Granted, my front door is now over here, but that's the thing with these 16s. You're not going to win 100% of the time. So, uh, you do what you can with what you have, and you try to make it look as good as you can. Now, I want to go ahead and pull out this guy again. You can see here that this house is also at a 45-degree angle, and there's a pretty large corner here that I could plant in. Even right here in the front, on my main house, I actually have a hot tub sitting in front of it. So, I mean, there's different things you can do with that space. It's all in how you want to use it. Now, the reason that I don't have anything on this house yet is because I'm going to upgrade it. Most houses can be upgraded. The thatched, I showed you a regular version back there, and a raised version is what they call it. These are regular cottages right here, all three of these. And this is a raised, not exactly a cottage, but it's the same size, same class, same price. Oh, here you go, side by side. A regular cottage and a raised cottage. Okay. Now, in order to raise it, which this house is also raised because it used to have a roof. Now it has a second floor where I have all of my tools. All right, all the crafting benches and everything, some storage and all that. This one that I'm planning on upgrading, which I am still short materials on, is a 2-story, but after I upgrade it, it'll be a 3-story. Now the thing is the cost. It is very expensive to upgrade a house this big. I think this is the most well, no, it's the second most expensive one to upgrade. The most expensive one is the 44 by 44, which I'm not going to get into because by the time you're ready to do a 44 by 44, you should have this figured out. But you click the remodel button, and this is a chalet, okay? And I'm going to go apothecaries on it, and here is the building materials cost. 100 enchanted blueprints. Only 6 building management titles. 140 construction brick bundles, 100 wooden beam bundles, and 100 construction tool bundles, and 1 blue salt hammer, and 320 tax certificates. Now, it's going to cost me that much because of how much property I have. But you can click the preview to see what it would look like. Oops, I didn't mean to rotate. I meant to do that. So let me drag this kind of out of the way. And now you can see there's the 3rd floor up there. So yeah, this is going to be huge. Let me see here. If I did rotate it, yeah, I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to keep it the way it was. It was rotated over this way. But yeah, it's going to look awesome. I'm really looking forward to doing this and getting it done. But it's going to take me a little while because I've got a lot of materials to get. And this is where I'm keeping them. I've got a lot of the iron, but I don't have all of it. And I've got all the stone, but I'm trying to make the stone brick, and I'm still needing some of the logs. I need a lot of the blueprints. I've got all the titles, though. So I've got some, and then I don't have some. So I've still got some work ahead of me. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be great, especially sitting next to this house. I am going to be making this a public house. It's going to be an apothecary. What a public house is basically, let me come over to my nameplate here. If you look under usage permissions, you have private. That means only you and characters on your account can use the property. Family means anybody in your family can use the property. Guild, obviously, anybody in your guild. And open to the public means that anybody who comes by can use it. Now, a clarification on that. If it's set to public, that means anybody can come up and close the door or open the door, open and close the windows. They can interact with the bobbleheads. They can light the candles. Okay. Anybody can do that. Anybody can come up and lay down in your bed. All right. They can come and sit in your chairs. All right. They can also use your fireplace to set a memory, so they can actually teleport to here. They can interact with all of your furniture and everything, but they cannot access your chests, and they cannot pick anything up. They can't take anything. They can use your mailbox, and in the case of my properties, they can use all of my tools that are up here, all of my workbenches. Stop that. So they can come up here and use all these tools that are available. No, at least anybody in my guild can. If it's set to public, then anybody who's playing the game, even reds, can come and use it. Now, as far as chests go, if you go to your chest, which trying to get that, there it is, H. You can do the same thing with your chest. You can change the permissions on the chest as to who can access it. It does not keep a log of who accessed it. Alright? So, I do not recommend changing it. Always leave your chests on private. It's kind of a waste to put it out there for somebody else to use. So now, why would you want a property? Well, let's take a look. We're going to come over to the smallest one, the 8x8 garden. And it has a decor items limit of 50 items. So I can put 50 decoration items on here. That includes an otherworld storage chest or an ArcheRAGE storage chest. Okay? You cannot put a regular chest on here because it can't sit on the ground. But the ArcheRAGE storage chest and the otherworld storage chest actually, they're like sticky bombs. You can stick them on the side of the scarecrow. Which, that's where I was showing you that I have all those building materials as an otherworld storage chest. Which, yeah, get over here. That guy right there, it's floating on the ground. That's an otherworld storage chest. I chose to set that one on the ground. Coming over here to the 16x16 farm, I hit H, I meant to hit F, has a decor limit of 100 items, which is one otherworld storage chest and one ArcheRAGE chest, but anything, that's it for chests. You can't put anything else. If we take a look at the 16 that's back here, I know it looks like I'm running around in circles, but I'm actually going in order. The 16x16 house has a 45 item limit, but look how many different kinds of chests you can put in there. You can put 3 storage chests, an otherworld chest, a dimensional storage chest, and an ArcheRAGE storage chest. Okay. Now, the regular storage chests are like these 3 that I have right here in this corner. These are called golden teardrop chests, and each one of them has 100 slots in it. This house can take 4 of them. Say we go here. Oh, yeah, 4 storage chests. So, that's another thing to consider whenever you're getting a house is how many storage chests can it hold. Because that's the reason people get property is they have items to store. And if you look, I can actually show you real quick. Um, the reason that people need storage chests is because their warehouse is full. Like mine, I've got 20 slots down here at the bottom that I just cleared out this morning. And then my regular inventory, I've got, what, 45 slots available. That's it. Okay? But if you have storage chests, like this guy right here, the Golden Adventures storage chest, that's another 100 slots. The Golden Teardrop is another 100 slots. The Otherworld storage chest is also another 100 slots, but I upgraded this one so that it's now 150 slots. Alright, so I have storage chests. I've got room to put stuff, and I'm still running out of room. So that's all those. What I wanted to show you was the full kit. Well, first we've got the 16 by 16 house. And you can see I'm not even looking at the door. What I would have to do is spin it around to look at the door. But if you're in a hurry, don't worry about it. You can turn it later. Alright. There's the regular thatched, which I pulled out earlier. Again, the door is facing away from me. Okay. And then this is the full kit mining thatched. This is an upgraded thatched that I did a full kit demo on, so that I would not have to rebuild it. All I have to do is place it somewhere. But I don't have anywhere to place it. But this is a 24 by 24 that I keep in my inventory in case I find a spot big enough for it. You can still find spots big enough. You just have to be patient and look around. But they are out there. This one, where I have this house, dumb luck. I was actually in this house working, doing a lot of crafting, and I came out of my house and I saw that the property that was here was on fire because the owner stopped playing and he didn't give his property to anybody. So I came out here and I finished off his property and I plopped this down, built it up, and now I have it. It's mine now. It was just dumb luck. It just happened to go down while I was there. And it's the same with these three houses right here and these two farms right here. This farm is mine, but these three houses, this farm, and this farm are not mine. This person just happened to be here when the property's demoed, and he got them. It was just luck. So, don't give up. Just because you can't find one right now doesn't mean they're not out there. They are out there. Just be patient and keep looking. Always keep a couple of different sizes on you. Because like I said, I've got 9 properties on me right now. I did have 10, but I placed this one, so I don't have that one anymore. But I've got the 8x8. I've got 3 16 by 16s. And I've got 5 24s. Okay. So I've got properties. I can place them anywhere. The 8x8 I keep in my inventory because I don't want to lose it. But I'm never going to place that one down. And whenever I get the chance to give those to somebody that I want to give them to, I'm going to take those down too. Because they're adding to my high taxes. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Now, aside from the storage chests and being able to plant things safely, because if your property is set to private, you can plant on it. Like I've got these mining drills here. I'm the only one who can access them. Nobody else can harvest those. Those are mine. Just like this majestic tree, it belongs to this guy. Nobody else can access it. I'm walking right up to it. There's nothing I can do. Aside from that, if you have a house, an actual house, not a farm, not a garden, not a gazebo or a pavilion, not even the storage silo, okay, but an actual house, just a 16 by 16, then you have residency. And if you have residency, you can do the daily residency quests, which are given by this guy right here, okay? Now, it's probably a different NPC in each zone, but it's the community center manager. That's who you're looking for. And he's going to have a couple of quests for you that are all dailies. And you can once you complete those quests, you will get resident tokens, which you will bring over to here, and you will apply them here, either through F or G. Now, for Liliet Hills, right now, we're doing it through G because we're already up to level 3 or rank 3 development completed. Which means, let's see here. Yeah, the community center will reset to rank 1 after 15 days. Alright, G is to actually apply it, but I already did that. And if you want to see what your ranking is, you can come over here to the board. This is the cumulative service fees, which that's how much gold there is in the community. And then under residents, you can see what your contribution is. Mine is 1,110. There is one player who is above me, and that would be Trixie here with 1,680. Don't know how they got that much. But what that means is when the community center resets the zone, basically, you are going to get a payout. And the higher your contribution, the higher percentage of that total amount that you'll get, which I showed you is just under 4,000 gold. So, after the 15 days, I would probably get something like 600-700 gold out of that. So it's little gold in the mailbox type thing, nice to have. Now, there are other dailies that you can do besides the community center. This guy right here is called a task jar. And each property that has a task jar will have 2 quests. Alright. Now, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe there are only 6 task jar quests. Because I've tried rotating through here and I keep seeing the same 6. But this one has 2. And then if I come back here, my thatched also has a task jar on it right there on the front, where you can get 2 more. And then I have another thatched up the hill that is also raised. It has to be a raised property in order for you to get the task jar. This thatched is not raised and does not have a task jar. This 16 is raised, but it's a 16. It does not have a task jar. Okay, so the task jars are on thatched, well, basically 24s and 28s. 24 by 24 and 28 by 28 improved properties have task jars. Ooh, this little mining drill is done. I want to go ahead and collect that. I meant to grab that earlier. Did I get... Yes, I got some iron. I need iron. Oh, I still need a few thousand iron. That makes me happy, because I've been... I'm hurting. I need a total of 16,000 iron to complete this. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. So let me get in here. I'm going to throw this in this chest. Organization. Always keep your stuff organized so you know where to find things. I always have a problem with it. Things always fall out of organization because I get lazy and I mess things up. And then I can't find something. For example, I saw something in here. Let me open this up. That right there. This is the basic furniture collections, and there's 43 of them here. And I knew I had some somewhere, and I couldn't find them. I finally found them while I was doing all that organizing, putting all this together. This chest only contains items that can be placed on a property, furniture and things like that. But there they are, the other 5 that I had. I knew I had them somewhere. Now it's up to 48. I just couldn't find the darn things. Oh, and you also saw right up here at the top, I have 5 more properties just sitting there. Uh, I do have another property though, and it's one of those because I was in the middle of organizing. I saw it. I think it's in one of those 2 chests right there. Let me see. I gotta find this because now it's going to bother me. Or maybe it's in here. Is it in here? Let's see here. No. No, it's not in this one. Oh, let's not fall down. Is it in here? Let me sort it, because properties should be closer to the top. Yep. Oh, there it is. The deserted cottage. I knew I had that. I couldn't find it. Organization. Always keep your stuff organized so you know where it is. Alright. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. And there we go. Nice and safekeeping. And look, I've got a cat on a shelf. But anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for today, folks. I hope this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions about properties, please go ahead and let me know down there in the comments, and I will be sure to get back to you about it as soon as I can. As far as where to get properties, I missed that part. That's my fault. You remember Mirage Isle? That's where they are. They are all over Mirage Isle. You just go in, and you're going to, whenever you load into Mirage Isle, you're going to be at the top of a platform with stairs leading downward. You can go left to find all of these swept roof designs, or you can go right to find all of these slant roof designs, okay? That's where the properties are. They're all out there in Mirage Isle. You can find every last one of them out there. The only ones you can't find out there are the what they call the pay-to-win farms. And I showed you where the pay-to-win farms were earlier in the marketplace, okay? But anyway, like I said, that's going to do it for today, folks. If you enjoyed the episode, found it helpful, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. We will see you next time. Bye now.